Well, I learned this a long time ago, but now I know for sure. Do not wrong Fiona Forbes. She just came up with the evil plan to punish guys who like colorful socks.
If you ever break up, just take one of every sock.
don't take
two.
All the socks.
It's
one.
because we were admiring our next guest's socks because he's rivaling Michael Eckford.
No, he's owning
Okay,
me.
he has owned you. Tim Ellison is joining us now from the Pacific Institute of Culinary Arts to talk about the food truck scene. How are you?
All right,
Very
Tim.
well.
Nice
to
socks.
see you. Yes, excellent. You've been wearing colorful socks for far longer than the new trend.
That's right. Yeah, it goes back to my hotel days when we used to have a GM that sock checked us, and the big deal was to sneak.
Check?
Yeah,
What's a sock check?
Well, when you're working the banqueting room floor, it's black shoes, black socks, black pants, black belt, white shirt, black tie, and every now and then we like to sneak in a little personality, or some guy would wear white socks, which was like absolutely not allowed.
Yeah.
That's a little MJ.
I had a general manager who would wander around and sock check us, and just to be a rebel, I would every now and then slip in the colorful socks, just to see if I could get away with it.
Well, I
love
admire
it. Okay,
it,
so we're
friend.
going to talk about food trucks. What is your opinion in general of how we're doing with our food truck scene here in Vancouver?
Well, I think that it's very exciting, the movement that we're making, the direction we're going. Got some great trucks on the street. It's very exciting to see what's happening.
People love them.
They sure do. And Vancouverites will even stand in the rain to eat from these things, which is incredible. I think that the city of Vancouver can go a long way yet. We're nowhere near other markets, New York, LA, Portland, Seattle, other international cities. We got a long way to go.
You brought some favorites, and we're going to get to them. But first, what are some things that we could do to improve the food truck scene? Let's get the emails going, Tim.
Yeah, for sure. Right away, I just want to start with City of Vancouver. Bless their hearts that they're allowing this in the first place, but no other industry would allow for this kind of degree of regulation, of having to submit business plans, submitting to a panel of experts and everything like that. I think that if the city wants to have 500 trucks, they should just let the market decide, have the licenses out there. I understand that they want to get us used to it.
It's true, and you compared it to shoe stores when we were chatting. They don't regulate how many shoe stores there can be
Exactly,
around.
or your product line, or whether or not you'll be successful, and that's to see your business plan and such. So the hospitality industry, and it's kind of new, but not really, because there was popcorn stands in English Bay in the 60s. So we've been doing street food for a long time. We're just elevating it. So I think the city can back off a little bit and let us kind of roll with it.
I think it would
Do you
be
think
great
they will
to have them everywhere.
over time? Do you think they will? I mean, because this is so new to the city and everything else, it feels like there's a lot of, we're going to control this and we're going to let it grow slowly and nurture the flame.
Exactly. As a small industry, they really kind of have a little voice and not a lot of power. As they grow, and there's hundreds of them, then they can have a little bit more influence in City Hall, and I think that they'll see more things going their way. Like I said that they charge ridiculous rents. One of my biggest complaints about the street food scene is that, like everything in Vancouver, they tend to roll up the carpets at 10 o'clock in the evening. Only with the street carts, they do it at 3 in the afternoon. Thank you.
So
very
is
much.
that regulated by the city, or is that the choice of the trucks?
It's the businesses and the trucks can be there. They have a lot of variation in the hours they can, and they choose their hours.
So they could be late night.
Absolutely, they could be, and
Not that
should be.
Not that we
For
roll out of
sure.
nightclubs on regular occasions, but it would be really popular.
But when we do, I don't want to have a
hot dog,
nasty wrap or a slice of pizza. I'd like some fine food.
I think there's a lot of opportunity. I think Vancouverites would really appreciate it. And if you had a plum spot at Robson and Granville and you didn't want to be there at midnight on Friday and Saturday night, maybe you could pay a reduced rent for your space. Someone else could pay rent for that space. The city's getting 2 tenants. The population is getting served.
And it gives the city such a great vibe,
too.
And I promise we're going to get to your favorites in a second, but wouldn't it be nice if, while we're having something delicious at Fistro, I could also have a nice Pinot Grigio or a Chardonnay or something civilized with it?
BC wine, local craft beer. Portland just granted 2 liquor licenses for 2 of their trucks. Your previous guest was talking about being in London. I was in London last September, sitting outside the tower, right by the Thames. Beautiful little street food stand. What are they selling? Oysters in the half shell and glasses of champagne.
That's why I love England.
Like
civilization,
God
my
save
friend.
the Queen.
And I used to think we were oppressed because we were Anglo-British, and now I know it's because we're Canadian Vancouverites. Big time disappointing.
Let's talk about some trucks. The first one we're going to talk about is the Soho Road Naan Kebab. Tell us about this one.
Soho Road Naan Kebab. So they are at Smythe and Homer and Howe. They run from 11:30 to 3. They've got a selection of beef, chicken, and lamb kebabs. They do a really great job. They have naan bread. Actually, they have a tandoor oven, to make the naan in the truck. Imagine how hot that is inside that truck on a day like today, because it's going to be 600-700 degrees.
Yeah.
So that's very very cool.
But it's delicious. It looks like
really
it.
cool. I mean, we got that's a great thing about Vancouver is there's so much authentic ethnic variety.
Yeah, people
and
who
it's
really know.
showing up on the street.
And we
food
have
scene.
the French food.
The bite.
Yeah, there's a bite, which is actually just around the corner from you, just at the bottom of, I think it's Thurlow
So they have
and
stews. How does that work as street food? There's an
Beef.
argument walking around with a spoon, and you're not eating it in your
And a
hand.
cup.
I've got
Yeah.
Le Creuset, so
That's right.
you're stoned.
It's beef bourguignon, that classical beef and Cabernet dish, and it's in a cup, a little spoon. And the idea is that it's kind of warming food because we do get the occasionally drizzly, kind of gray, wet day
for
here.
10 months.
Like occasional. So the idea is, but he also does baguette sandwiches there, which are
Okay,
a little bit
pig
more
on the
walk around.
street. This is the guy's favorite. It is bacon everything.
Well, every
Bacon.
city needs at least one bacon-centric
Bacon
food
for
truck. If you're going to
bacon.
have it, this will be one of the first ones.
Yeah, Pig on the Street, Mark and Chrissy, they're a young couple. She's from Ottawa. He grew up in Cornwall. That's where they met in London. Came to Vancouver for their honeymoon in 97. Moved here 5 years ago doing this street truck thing. And I guess in England they have bacon buddy trucks that cruise around and everybody eats a bacon sandwich. And they missed
one
it.
should.
Yeah, they missed it when they got here, and so they thought there was a hole in the market that they would fulfill.
And
with
I
the
love
Pig on
that
the
they
Street.
don't have the typical when people think of food trucks.
Oh my
they
God,
have a
yeah.
modified
The Westphalia,
VW
Volkswagen.
Westphalia, and away you roll.
Those guys, and
if
imagine
it breaks down, you can run on the bacon.
that. Well, I'd probably push start it too.
Yeah.
Right? Make your own biofuel.
And grilled cheese is another hugely popular
Yeah.
kind of truck. I
Yeah.
know there's a great one in LA, and you've tried one
Portland,
in Portland.
yeah, they've got one.
Moms, Cindy Hamilton, the mom, grilled cheese sandwiches are that great comfort food, had the great idea to set up the truck right by the art gallery, gets a ton of foot traffic, and what she's created is a kind of build your own thing, so you can choose your bread, white sourdough, rye multigrain, that kind of thing, choose your cheese, Havarti jack, pepper jack, cheddar, put it together, and there's toppings, you can get tomatoes and caramelized onions and bacon and cheese, and they range from 50 cents to $1.50.
One of our interns, Matt, was like, meatloaf day,
Oh, yeah.
meatloaf.
Meatloaf Monday?
Meatloaf is on Monday. They do all kinds of specials every day of the week. Like they've got the Jackson
meatloaf in
3,
your-
which is a triple decker, 3 cheese grilled sandwich. I think that's Thursday.
But they're
so
trying
they
to
do
Jack Grandma on that sandwich. Okay,
Meatloaf Mama.
the juice truck. I have not tried this, but people rave about it.
Yeah, juice truck. It's down in Abbott and Cordova.
What's the lineup at it?
It's down in Gastown. Fresh juices and smoothies. They have some Nanaimo bars and things like that. They've got great hours. One of the few that stay open until after you finish work, like 5:30, 6 o'clock, which is really cool. And they've got this new technology that cold presses the juice.
That's the
so
way
it's
to
not
do
like
it.
in
Yeah.
a blender or something, so you get all of the nutrients. It's not tearing the sails apart, so it'll have way fresher
How
flavors.
useful would that be at 3 in the morning when you come out of the
When you get a
hey, the
hangover.
clubs or-
Now you're talking.
Okay,
I
let's
have-
quickly talk about Vikram's truck, because we love Vic.
Railway Express, of course, Vikram Veej, the venerable Indian restaurateur. His truck is, where's Vikram? He's at Georgia and Thurlow, 11
Yeah.
to 3, and he's doing, the idea is that his menu is a journey across India, Delhi, Bombay, Calcutta, the different kind of cuisines you'd see in the different areas. So, lamb with a coconut masala curry sauce and basmati rice and naan and
I am
kebabs
so hungry
and
right now.
lamb
This is terrible.
popsicles and satay. I mean, you leave it to Vikram to, take something and move it to the next level.
Yes.
Well, and that's what I love. I love when there's I don't know, maybe it's just me, but there's a story, there's a concept, there's it's multiple levels of creativity that go into the thought process behind this.
Yeah,
Well,
I
thank
agree.
you so much.
Thanks,
I'm
Tim.
looking forward to seeing more trucks out there.
Champagne,
And
wine,
oysters.
BC wines,
I don't know
craft
if I
food
want to eat
beer.
oysters off the street. I'm going to take that back.
Really?
Yeah, is that a little weird?
No, I think
You
that's
need to
absolutely
just make
fine.
sure you balance it with enough champagne. You'll
That's
be
right.
okay.
Okay, good
if
job.
there's anything sketchy in there,
Just
the
That's right, it
champagne
was
will
the
take
Drink
care
it
of
champagne.
away.
Yeah, so
Okay,
take
we're going
care
to
of
take a break.